Hey guys, ready to put this thing back together. Gonna remove some of these old parts here, washer and some O-rings and seals and such. Okay, and back out of the way. Looking at this here, I'm gonna clean all this stuff up. This Scotch-Brite pad I have is pretty old and beat up, so we don't want to use like steel wool or anything like that. This has parts washer on it, so just want to clean this up. Little prep work. Try to get rid of all that dirt and stuff in there. Okay. It's pretty spiffy. Okay. I'm going to put it together like the drawing shows online I found. Okay, so we're going to take our O-ring, which is number 24, 177408. I think what I'm going to do is put just a dab of grease on here and maybe hold it in place. It's not really going to hold it in place at all, but it's going to keep it from maybe moving around as much. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to put this washer on here, which is 177445. Same thing, just put a little dab of grease on here. Put on both sides. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to put the seal on there, which is the washer is number 26, by the way. Seal is number 27, 177521. And that guy's going to go on here, like so. Okay. Trying to get this O-ring about even here with this washer. It's still a little bit bigger than the washer. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I noticed that even on the old one. But must be just the way it is. I don't know. I'll try to even it out as much as I can. Okay. Oh, that looks perfect. Alright. Pause this for a minute. Look at the drawing here. Okay, so I cleaned that all up, the spindle and that, and put the O-ring on the washer and the seal. Now it's time for this hub to go on here. a little grease on here. It's gonna squash out, but we have some parts cleaner and stuff we can use. Okay. Now, see how this thing's gonna go. Okay. So now I'm gonna put it like that. Push it a little bit. Okay, because this is gonna spin up, and then I'll have to get my shock and everything on there. But for now, we're gonna put this washer on here. It has a little flat spot because there's a little chamfer in the axle or spindle, whatever you want to call it. I got a lot of grease here. Put that in there. Put some more in there. Then I gotta put a cert clip in, or snap ring. And it might be a little bit of a bugger because all the seals and the O-rings and such are new, so we'll try our best. Get it in there. Might have to get a different pair of snap ring pliers. Okay. Well, let's make sure that guy's in there the whole way around. We don't want that thing falling out or coming loose. Okay. Looks like it's actually pretty good, but I want to make sure it's in that groove. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let's do a little tap here. Okay. Yep, it's locked in. We're good. Take some of this extra grease and just put it around this seal here. Won't hurt. So, this is kind of what it looks like at this point. Now, let's put just a little bit more grease in there. It's not totally packed full. I don't think it's recommended to pack it full there. Okay. Now we're gonna put this guy on here. Make sure we have enough grease inside. In this hub, it'll come pushing up. That's all right. There's a sealed bearing in there. This is sealed on this end, as in the last video. The other end isn't, so it's fine. Okay, that's it there. Now it's probably easier to install the shock and everything without actually having this on, but then what you're going to do with this is you're going to put the spindle nut on. They give you this collar, put it on, and then you're going to put a new cotter pin through here. There's a hole. Just put a new one in it. It's easier than messing with an old one. unless you don't have that option. Okay. Yeah, that'll spin up. So right now what I'm going to do, just so I don't lose parts or whatever, I'm going to just put this on hand tight until I get the specs. I'm not really sure what the spec is for that. You don't want to over tighten this stuff. You put too much load on the bearings and then you'll just wipe them out again. Premature wear of the bearings, and you could crush the seals, and I think that's maybe what happened here. So if I spin these bars a little bit, you might be able to see a little bit better what this looks like. You got the new parts in between, you got the new seal inside of here, this is touching. That should keep your contaminants out of there. And then ultimately I have a new Speedo gear that'll go in, and just have to hook the rest of this stuff up here. I guess once my help gets here, we'll get the rest of it. But really not too difficult. It's just a little time consuming when it was this bad, as with all the dirt and everything. But oh no, not too bad. Yeah, I figured it'd probably be easier just to have this hub off of here. So we're gonna do that real easy. Says don't worry about the grease and everything all over the place. You'll get that all cleaned up with some cleaner. This will probably be pretty difficult, just because I'm not used to really working on these, but it's not too bad. So line that up. You can get to all this stuff then pretty easy without having that disc in the way for the brake. Can't really see what I'm doing there. Okay. Good and tight until I get the specs on the bolts. Little German torque spec. Okay. Now this guy's ready to go back on. And I've laid it on something clean, so you don't have to worry about keep cleaning stuff. And I see that was sealing, so that's good. It's perfect. Put this guy back on there. Wait to get the specs. I'm going to turn this over this side. I have to move. The bars want to keep moving around, so because of the seat. Or not. Just because they want to be difficult, I guess. And that's fine. Okay, now these might be a little difficult unless you spread the calipers apart, but it shouldn't be too bad. If you have to, you have to spread the caliper apart. Okay. Alright, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, found the specs for the axle nut, and it's 55.2 to 66.3 foot-pounds. So I set my torque wrench to 58 foot-pounds. Go in between there, should be fine. Go a little bit, spin it, doesn't hurt. A little more. Okay, there we go. 58 foot-pounds. Make sure you take the load off the torque wrench too, in case you didn't know that. Okay, we're gonna put this cap on here and see how my cotter pin works. Okay. Okay, that's that part. Now we're going to put the speedo gear in. We need to do something here so these handlebars stay in place. They want to keep moving. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I already had some grease on here. I needed to find a rotation, but on the speedo gear, it looks to be where the cable goes down, and it goes down on a little deeper on this end than on the other end. It's more it's kind of flush right here, so that's the way. But it wants to, you have to spin this thing clockwise, because I took the cable and I spun it, and that's the way it's reading. You know, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick that up in there, nice and easy. Make sure it's meshing in there. Yep. Okay. And there's this little guy here. It's like it's a brass collar. Kind of holds that gear in place, I guess, up in there. What I'm gonna do is get some of that old grease off there and put a little bit in here, and that'll hold that kind of up in place. Okay, there's that part. And then there is a rubber grommet. It's going to go up in there, and that's going to keep the contaminants out of there as well. I'm just going to throw some grease on it. Okay. Then your cable this is going to go on. So the cable is going to go through here like so, and then there's one bolt. You got to feed this little bracket here first. What's going on here? Yeah, maybe not the right way. She's pushing it out, so not really sure what's going on there. Unless there's something messed up with the cable itself. But oh, that's what's going on. This plate's hitting. Okay. All right. Well, not sure the size of that. It might be an 8mm. Okay, and that part's done. Yeah. Let's see. Probably gonna have to actually get out and rev it. I'm sure if it wasn't right, it wouldn't really work at all. And can't really tell here. So, now we're going to have to put the tire on it. This is I don't know if I stated before, it's a project for my buddy. And we're going to go, it's called Meltdown down in Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, PA. So we're trying to get some of these scooters ready to make the journey. A little over 2 hours, I think it is, something like that, to get there by car. Okay, I don't want to go too crazy, just kind of pick it up off the ground. Alright, get my bolts. Now, before we do that, guys, we're gonna make sure we get all that grease off of this thing here. We need to be able to stop, so, and not gonna work too well like that if we don't get the grease off. Okay. All right, I think we're ready. Oop. I'll line it up first. There we go. Looks like I'm missing something here. Let's go inside, yeah. So what we did was we tore this whole front assembly off of here. Got new O-rings and seals and a bearing and what have you. Had to clean a lot of things up. Then we actually ripped the carburetor off of it, replaced the slide in there. It was broke. I'm not sure how that happened. Probably somebody was cleaning it before and dropped it off a bench or whatever. Flushed the tank out. Gonna put some new fuel in it. Maybe a little bit of stable, not stable, but seafoam. And change the oil in it. So, trying to get this thing ready. It's been sitting for, I don't know, I think several years. But it's really not in too bad a shape. It just needs some cleaned up. The coolant's good in it. Stuff we lost a little bit on the tear down, so I'm gonna tighten these. I'll tighten these bolts back up here after I get the specs on them, and we should be good to go. Hopefully the speedometer's in there the right way. Yep, that's the right way. So where that gear is, it has two ends, and that cable will fit in either end. Why they don't make it so you can't. But anyway, it goes up in where it's hollowed out a little further. That's the end that the cable goes in. So what you want to do is actually just kind of spin your tire, put the gear up in there like I did. I didn't show that in the video. And spin this, you know, or your hub, whatever, and see which way that gear's turning, and then spin your cable. I didn't have that option in the beginning because the gear was just galled in there. It was pretty bad. So hope this helps anybody out that, you know, needs, you know, some help with the Vespas, have some questions or whatever. You can comment below, subscribe to the channel. I don't post a lot of things. I do a lot of different videos, just some whenever I'm doing some maintenance or whatever, and I think about it. So this isn't my full-time job, and I don't think it'll ever be to do videos for YouTube. It'd be nice, but I think everybody, it seems to be the norm for most people. So, and then you can go over and recheck your bolts and stuff, spin everything, make sure it's still cleaned off good. You don't want to get a lot of cleaner up in here where you just put those new O-rings and stuff. So you just basically want to just clean this disc off. That'll run up through the brakes. Okay. I didn't squeeze the caliper in, so I don't have to really worry too much. If you squeeze the calipers in and you're not, you know, you've never done that, you're not sure of it, just make sure that when you go to hit that front brake, it's not going to stop you because it has to take time to squeeze in. So, alright, till the next time.